Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Emily, also known as Moon Princess. Welcome to another YouTube video here on my channel. So today I'm going to be doing the Costuber Tag. I wasn't tagged because I'm not popular enough. But I saw this video over on Historical Belle's channel. I will link her channel in the description. Really awesome content creator with a lot of historical knowledge, and it helps with the understanding of a lot of the historical stuff in cosplay. So, as I say, I've narrowed the questions down a little bit. There were 32 initially. However, I'm not a maker. I'm just a wearer and a performer, if you like, because I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, because I'm not talented enough to make things. I'm actually thinking about it. I'm a bit inappropriately dressed. Cue the tinkly effect. So, tinkly effect's over. I'm back. Right then, where have I put my notepad? This is the problem with hoop skirts. Oh, it's behind you. Stop hiding it from me. God damn it, guys. So, once again, Costuber Tag. Right. So it's been like about 5 minutes for me now. So, story behind my channel name. See, I'm Northern Princess on YouTube, for those of you who haven't yet noticed. So, Northern Princess for me came from a number of areas. First of all, it was the cosplay side, really, because, as we're going to discuss, the majority of my cosplays are, you know, princessy style dresses, like big hoop skirts, that kind of stuff. And, you know, and I'm Northern, hence this accent. That was sort of the first part of it, but then obviously one of my other big passions is the railways. And I was doing some research into the Northern Belle trains, which are sort of luxury passenger services that run from, they run all over the place really, but they run all over the place. And when they used to be based with a company called DRS, one of their locomotives was Northern Princess. I'll try to include an image of it now. So I thought, you know, what a great conglomeration, shall we say, of you know, both the cosplay side of things and the railway side, because that, you know, that was a big part of my channel. So yeah, that's where that went from. Second question. When and why did I start costuming? So me and costumes have had a bit of a weird history. When I was a kid, probably 4, 5, maybe 6, sort of that age range really. My family's not really religious, but my dad's side of the family went to church, and he had friends at the church, so every now and again we'd go. So there was a nativity event they were putting on, and I forget what they wanted me to be, but it was like some really basic character, and I hated it. Like, that was probably the first time I had a fully blown panic attack, and I was in tears. I was hysterical, and that was sort of the end of me in dressing up. But and then as I was sort of experimenting with coming out, because hi, I'm transgender. Again, if you haven't noticed, you know, I started, that was a nice sort of way for me to have a bit of an escape, you know. I sort of started cross-dressing before I fully came to terms with what it really was. And it's a psychological phenomenon, and I don't think this is entirely it, but I think it certainly is it in part, where obviously transgender people do everything they can to be as feminine as possible. So like things like, I don't wear like pink dresses kind of thing, but like it was a good year and a half after I came out before I went to work wearing something that wasn't a dress. You know, that gives you a bit of an idea. So, you know, and I think that's not entirely responsible, but that's partially it. I've always sort of really quite liked Disney. Who doesn't, right? And if you say you don't, you're not telling the truth, though, are you? Really, though. But you know, that was, and I sort of, my first proper cosplay, you know, that wasn't just a Halloween costume, was Elsa. Sadly, I saw Elsa's coronation dress. Again, it was terrible by my current standards, because I couldn't find a wig that fit. I was like, okay, I'm going down the route of, you know, sort of my take on Elsa with brown hair, because I could sort of empathise with my sort of rules on cosplaying a character is I have to either empathise or like that character has to be sort of very iconic to me before I'll do them. And Elsa was, you know, Elsa, you know, the whole conceal don't feel. Yeah, that's another video. But that, you know, certainly had an impact, and I'll include a photo now. See what I did there, which has been edited out, is I did a clap. This is going to help me in editing. So yeah, that was my first character, and it was when so I've been out for 3.5, so it was literally just after. It's like within a month, me and one of my friends went to Newcastle Comic Con. I was Elsa, she was Olaf, which is really fun. My first costume, I've just explained that was Elsa's coronation dress. Really quite a nice little costume. I sold it actually, which I'm really sad, and I'm trying to buy it back even though it doesn't fit, just for, you know, for the memory of that. You know, I'm not a maker, but it was like £75 and a really nice costume. What is my usual genre? So I've just sort of talked about that really, Disney, and sort of, but also I do quite a bit of historical stuff now as well. So this dress I'm wearing here actually is sort of an 1840s Georgian lady's dress, and I got it from Cornucopia Cosplay. Also, Cornucopia Costume, again I'll link to it in the description. They're an eBay store. They're not the cheapest, but I actually really like the dresses that come from them, and I really like them. And you know, they're based somewhere like, I think Cheshire, which is just, it's brilliantly British. And yeah, I really like their dresses. This dress was actually supposed to be for the Dickensian Festival for the summer in Rochester, but unfortunately I'm not there anymore. So, and it got cancelled because COVID. Right, my favourite costume. You see, that's really kind of tough because I've got a few that I really like. So one of my big favourites is my black Georgian dress, which I'll put up on screen now. That is, you know, for the longest time that dress was my profile photo. Or me and that dress was my profile photo. I might try and remake that because I'm back at my dad's at the minute. But that was like one of the few pictures I took of me where I felt like I looked like a girl. And if you look at it up close, it's not great, but you know, little victories, as they say, little victories. My least favourite. That's really strange to say because actually, delete this bit. Sorry. So after that, it would be my Belle dress, I think, probably, because that is probably the costume I'm most known for. And people, you know, have seen me in and I'm like, Belle. you know, again, the character I really enjoy being. That costume is quite demanding because to look good, you have to have a corset on. It has to be done up all tight all the time. Which, you know, but at the same time, Belle. And she's one of my favourite princesses. I know she's everyone's favourite princess, which kind of sucks, but yeah. And last sort of favourite costume I'd have to go with. So I'd probably have to go with one that is actually really crap, and I haven't got a photo of it because of how crap I look in it. But it's a OC of mine, which is a Hufflepuff student. I'm not going to drop names because I'm still working on the character a lot. From Harry Potter, and for me, you know, as much as I like becoming someone else's character, if that makes sense, you know, one of my big hobbies outside of this is GTA roleplay, and that's where I spent a lot of time on lately. And I actually really enjoy creating a character. You know, not just their appearance, but you know, what do they like? What makes them tick? A lot of my roleplay is a bit like George Clooney when he acts. He's not, you know, he's more like an old-time movie star, where it's George Clooney as a bank robber, basically. Not, you know, what other actors do, which is Taron Egerton becomes Elton John, if that makes sense. Also, I absolutely love Rocketman. I'm tempted to do an Elton John, but I don't know. So anyway, my least favourite cosplay. That's actually really tough to say. I mean, as a generic rule of thumb, I'd have to say my fursuit, because it's really nice, but just the head is really terribly designed, and it is, if I've got it on for more than 5 minutes, I can't breathe, and I can't see anything, and I just feel a bit from being in it. Yeah, that's what I can really go with. Look, 'cause I've got the costume cupboard behind you guys opened up. That's probably the one I have to go with, because, yeah, it's just the one I'm least comfortable in. And actually, I'm going to add one to that, actually. I'm going to say Mary Poppins as well, because I have a Mary Poppins dress, but I've worn it once, and I just felt really... You know when you don't feel right wearing something, if that makes sense? You know, you just... The way I'd explain it is, imagine walking down the street wearing a pink frilly dress. You just feel uncomfortable. That's sort of what I feel like wearing that. It's something I'm working on, and I want to make that costume a lot better. But one of the first things I really need to solve for that is a wig. Whew. So, historically accurate or historically inspired is the next sort of question. So, I tend to sort of go a bit down the middle with that. You know, with being a Victorian lady, I actually researched hairstyles and stuff. So, you know, I know to tie my hair back, put it in a bun, which I haven't got a bubble on me, and then go from there. And, you know, that is obviously the realistic way of doing it. And, you know, if I was going out and doing this video outside, I'd do my hair like that. But this is sort of in my bedroom, and so I've let my hair down a bit. So it's, you know, things like that. So for that sort of stuff, yeah, go historically accurate. But for things like cosplay and the Disney side of things, I like to go movie accurate or historically, you know, historically inspired. So, for example, my bell dress looks semi-accurate to the movie, but it probably looks more like an 1800s sort of Regency era dress. And you know, that's what I like. You know, I don't talk about my costumes as costumes. I talk about them as dresses, because, you know, I like to think of it as if that character were a real person, which, you know, I know in some cases they were, but, you know, not all cases. That's what they would wear, you know. So that, you know, that's the way I sort of look at that. You know what? I think it's time for some more fluttery effect. Wait. Oops, come on. Alrighty, hey guys. So, fluttery effects are over once more, and I've become Ariel. Yeah, this too has happened today. So, continuing with the questions. The Ariel dress is a cosplay dress. I reviewed it in a previous video on the channel, so you can go check that out if you want. So, how has cosplay affected my everyday? Not much at the moment. Well, actually, I tell a lie. The majority of my friends I've met through cosplay, and you know, I was chatting to one of them in the intermission, and yeah, you know, that has probably been the biggest change cosplay's had on my life. I also think it's made me a lot more confident to, you know, express myself and be who I want to be, and I think that's, you know, we're in a time that's more important than ever. Yeah. What part of cosplay do I dread? Getting undressed. So this dress, for example, is difficult to get out of because it laces up at the back. you know, it's just, and it's difficult to reach around and unlace, and you know, that has been an issue. Yeah, you know, when I'm living by myself, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna lie on the bed, recover a bit, and then I'll get this dress off once I'm a bit more recovered. That's probably the hardest part for me, because obviously I'm not a maker, as I mentioned. Yeah, I'm just not. And yeah. Actually, I'm going to add another thing on myself. Why do I not make my own costumes? Could I learn? Yeah, probably. Do I want to? The reason being is I have really high standards of myself in creative areas. So, you know, I did train some gameplay design stuff, right? I have a really high standard of myself in terms of the work I do. And I don't like playing my own scenarios because I find loads of bugs, and it's tiny little things that nobody else will notice. You know, things that are just minute. But to me, it's like, no, that needs to be fixed. That needs to be fixed, and it just means I can't enjoy it. Now, for me, the way I look at this dress here was £125, I think, 125 British pounds, and it's a really nice dress. You know, it's made to my size. It's a really nice pattern. I really enjoy it. Had I, you know, so the amount of material that's in this, let's say that costs £85. You know, the cost saving to me isn't worth it, because I know my skills aren't there, and I'd rather just have someone who I know is good at their job do it for me, you know, and I don't mind paying a little bit extra if I know it's going to be of a decent standard. So, favourite places to take photos? Well, actually, down in the back garden is really awesome. Lovely little area to just sit and take selfies. Apart from that, I also really enjoyed Rochester when I lived down there, because that was beautifully historic. And parts of Newcastle are pretty good too. Summer or winter cosplays? So, my problem is I obviously live in the northeast at the moment, and what we call summer weather, most people spring, autumn. The way sort of the UK, the northeast sort of works for weather is spring and autumn take up about 11 months of the year. Winter takes up about 3 weeks. Summer takes up about 1 week. So yeah, I tend to stick to the wintry stuff. What's my next project? My next project is probably going to be Frozen 2 Anna, hence I have Olaf. God damn, I can never find his little thing. Yeah, Olaf. Yeah, so Frozen 2 Anna, but also I'm looking at doing Frozen Elsa's coronation dress, but a new version of that, so it's a bit nicer, a bit better. One of my other hobbies, some other hobbies, as you guys know, train simulator, and the railways. I just enjoy trains. You know, I just, yeah, like I'm going to be going train. I'm moving back to Newcastle next week. One of the first things I'm doing is going down to Manners station and enjoying the roar of a Class 91 coming past. Yeah, so that is me for other hobbies, really. So yeah, that is my Costuber Tag video. Unfortunately, I've got no friends to tag, but if you watch this video and you want to go and do something similar, just go for it, you know, and just say I tagged you. Yeah, just like type your channel name in the description, and I'll come back. Oh my god! Okay, guys. So once again, thank you all very much for watching today's video. Hope you did like the video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe to see more from me, pretty much on a daily basis right now. And we'll see you in the next one.